Well, in harness racing, apart from the Inter-Dominion, the Miracle Mile is one of the biggest events in Australasia. Last Friday night, thousands gathered for the 31st running of the $400,000 mile, as 6 of the best pacers battled it out around Sydney's Harold Park. Well, amongst them were 2 mares, Norm's Daughter and Sableyes. And as Tim Wharton reports, they were both out to grab a slice of history.
The Miracle Mile, 1,760 metres of thundering hooves, sweat, strain and pain. Six horses, 6 drivers, all striving to win one of Australasia's greatest harness races. Each year they gather at Sydney's Harold Park, the best of the best, invited by the club. And traditionally, it is an event that lives up to its name. A race where dreams can be realised, fairy tales fulfilled.
On the 3 furlong turn, they're ahead of time, and as they run on the 3 furlong...
The first of the miracles occurred in 1967, when a New Zealand mare by the name of Robin Dundee not only blitzed the field, but ran the mile in under 2 minutes.
Will it be a Miracle Mile? We'll watch the blue light. Robin Dundee is way out in front of the field as they come down to the winning post, hard driven. Robin Dundee may do it. They get down near the line. Maybe, yes, a cheer from the crowd. Robin Dundee beat the light.
The blue light comes up and they're racing. Master Magician away brilliantly in the centre. He's going to try and cross Ilvacolo, but he won't. And here's Norm's Daughter, driven out hard from the outside, keen to lead. And at the first turn, Norm's Daughter takes the lead away from Ilvacolo.
Almost 30 years on, another horse, Norm's Daughter, created her own piece of pacing history when she won the postponed 1995 event. The 6-year-old upstaging her more fancied rivals to become not only the second mare to win the race, but more importantly, give Kelly Kersley a night to remember, becoming the first female driver to win the race.
It's Norm's Daughter, the leader. She drifts off the inside. The Kiwi gets the run. Ilvacolo, he's coming quickly, but Norm's Daughter's hanging on, and the West Australian mare wins the Miracle Mile. Norm's Daughter from Ilvacolo.
It meant a great deal to me. It was a dream come true for myself. Being involved with the harness racing family that have been very successful, it meant a lot to me to be able to win a big race and be listed in the history books.
6 months after that momentous victory, Kelly and Norm's Daughter are back again to defend their title. Just being here is a miracle in itself. Not long after winning the big race in June, the West Australian mare was in dire straits, hospitalised after suffering from a virus. But as Kelly testifies, Norm's, as she's affectionately known, is no average horse.
When the horse got sick and had the virus, I think she lost something like 5 kilos, which is nothing for a horse. An average horse or a normal horse would have probably lost, 5 times that amount of weight, where she's, in my opinion, she's an iron horse.
Of course, Norm's Daughter isn't the only tough member of this partnership. Kelly has had to learn to be just as thick-skinned as she's made her way in what is predominantly a man's sport.
For me, it was hard because when I won on a horse, it was because I was a Kersley. When I got beat on a horse, it was because I was a girl. So we've sort of got over them hurdles, and that sort of doesn't worry me a lot now. And I don't think it worries the other guys I drive against either.
Down the New South Wales coast, another mare is preparing her assault on the big race. Sableyes is making her second attempt at the mile, having come second 3 years ago. Now there's hopes she'll go one better, and in the process create some history of her own, being the first mare in foal to enter the event. So how's Sableyes coping as a mother?
I've got to say she's a lot better than herself. She's always been a lovely natured mare and that sort of thing, so I can't see a lot of difference in her.
The Miracle Mile will be the mare's swan song. After this, she'll go into retirement to concentrate on motherhood. And so what better way to go out than with a win? A win that Brian Hancock has been striving for so long. Brian, this is your 12th attempt at the Miracle Mile. You've made more attempts than any other. Is it like a monkey on your back that you've never won it?
Yeah, well, everybody says that. Yeah, it is. I suppose it is really. It's, you know, everyone sort of says about I've got a monkey on my back. I can't win a derby or I can't win a Miracle Mile. And you know, I think I've won Hunter Cups and Victoria Cups and all those sort of races. But I just can't seem to get this one. You know, I've had more chances than anybody else at it, which we're very fortunate to have horses over the years to compete in a Miracle Mile. So, you know, really, it is a monkey on my back, and a bloody big monkey at that.
The big night. Harold Park is packed, Brian is set, Kelly is set, and the two mares are ready. All that remains is the race.
Blue light on, they're racing. Sable Eyes has begun brilliantly. Ilvacolo's gone out fast too. They're going to cross Norm's Daughter as Sable Eyes takes the lead into the first turn from Ilvacolo. Norm's Daughter immediately off the inside to be one off. Around the turn and down to the judge to get the bell now in the Miracle Mile, and it's the Kiwi Ilvacolo leading from last season's winner Norm's Daughter. She's on the outside of the leader. Sable Eyes third the inside. They're flying. Ilvacolo three-quarters to Norm's Daughter. Manaville went off stride there, and Heracles is going to get out. Sable Eyes can't get a run. Ilvacolo swung for home clear. Norm's Daughter the outside. Sable Eyes trying to get out, and here's Heracles on the outside. Ilvacolo in front. Heracles is storming home. Sable Eyes getting out late, but the boom New Zealander Heracles takes the lead from Ilvacolo, and Heracles gets up to win.
As Ricky May celebrates his miracle victory, Brian Hancock and Kelly Kersley are left in his wake. But neither are disgraced. Brian paying an emotional tribute to his charge, the mother-to-be, as she goes into retirement.
You know, what can you say about her? You know, she's done everything I after doing. She's just been a super mare to us. And like I say, run over a nice colt and win a Miracle Mile with it. And, you know, no doubt she'll do a great job in the breeding barn. And, you know, it's just one of those things you know, first time I was sort of a bit teary about one, you know, but she's been a pleasure to have, and we brought her as a year, and as I said, you know, everything's gone through the right way, and we can't end up in the last race in Miracle Mile, so what can you ask for?
Yes, a little later on in the program, Adam Hamilton will join us to recap on the $400,000 Miracle Mile from Harold Park in Sydney. But after the break, a great Australian sporting legend joins us by the name of Francois Robert de Castella.
Tonight,
stories surrounded the build-up to the $400,000 Miracle Mile at Harold Park on Friday night. Adam Hamilton joins us in the studio. Nice to talk to you in the studio instead of down the link from Melbourne, Adam.
It certainly is, David. It's a first for me to be here, and, well, it's a great circumstance to be here because I think on Friday night at Harold Park we saw the birth of an absolute superstar in harness racing.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, a lot of stories surrounding the build-up to it. A mare in foal, two lady drivers, but there was a Kiwi that came here highly credentialed and lived up to every bit of that and suggested maybe it's one of the greatest.
Yeah, certainly. I think a lot of people were trying to find reasons why Heracles wouldn't win the race. But what it really came down to is the fact that he is the most exciting thing we've seen in harness racing for a long, long time.
And it had to overcome a few obstacles on the way too.
Yeah, he certainly did. You can see here that he didn't take any part in the start at all, Heracles. You can see him just settling into a nice position. He's back running about fourth at this stage, and he manages to find a lovely trail. Sable Eyes, as expected, burned to the lead early, and I think it was on the cards all the time that the first of the real big guns there was going to get the lead off her, David. There's Ilvacolo taking the front. Norm's Daughter, who won the race back in June, coming around to sit outside the leader. And that really set it up for Heracles. You can see that Ricky May, his driver, has dropped into, in harness racing terms, the lovely trail. The one
disappointing to the putters that Al Sylvester didn't run in on Friday night.
Yeah, I think it was a very, very disappointing decision by the Harold Park officials. We saw some hour before the Miracle Mile that Al Sylvester came out. He equalled a world record, David, winning the support race on the night. A stunning performance, and I'm sure if he had the run of Heracles, he would have been right there at the finish.
But all fairness to Heracles, a race course record out here, what, 1.4 seconds faster than Norm's Daughter and Manaville from the Friday before, so a deserved winner.
Look, the mind boggles how fast these horses are going to go. You think this is only his second start at the top level, Heracles. He's gone around in 154.3. we're getting closer every time to these brilliant American horses. You can see bizarre move here by Ricky May to stay in. The punters' hearts were in their mouths at this stage when Manaville, the rank outsider and shock inclusion in the field, put Heracles in a pocket here at this stage, but Manaville starts to race a little bit roughly as he gets tired under pressure. There he goes, galloping now, and the punters breathed a sigh of relief. Heracles pulled out. He had a flat tyre at this stage, and let's pick up the call.
Norm's Daughter the outside, Sable Eyes trying to get out, and here's Heracles on the outside, Ilvacolo in front. Heracles is storming home, Sable Eyes getting out late, but the Boom New Zealander, Heracles, takes the lead from Ilvacolo, and Heracles gets up to win. Heracles 3/4 of a length, Ilvacolo a length away, third Sable Eyes, then
Well, what a great moment for trainer Robert Cameron. 1967 won the inaugural with Robert Dundee, but this time even happier because a half interest in the horse.
Yeah, certainly, and a more humble man you wouldn't find in harness racing. He's a trademark of one of the traditional Kiwi trainers, very quietly spoken, never wanted to put his horse into the boom bracket before the race. I think he did that himself with his on-track performances, but Robert's going to have to get used to the media hounding him, I think, over the next couple of years.
Yes, and driver Ricky May was absolutely delighted.
He's only had 23 starts tonight. You know, to come around this wee track, never been on such a small track before, and do what he did, I think it's just sensational, really.
And he's only 4 and a 154. Were you surprised by?
Well, very surprised at the time. Yeah, couldn't believe he went 154. He did it so easy because he had a flat tyre for a wrap. Most of the, you know, a round and a half, a round and a quarter.
Did that worry you?
Oh, it always worries me. Flat tyres take a lot harder pulling. And what I was worried about is the tube was going to come off the rim and the noise it was making. So, you know, it definitely didn't help.
And a bit of memory, I mean, Robert Cameron won the first Miracle Mile and he's trained the 31st.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Robert's the leading trainer in New Zealand at the moment. He's a great trainer and done a great job with this horse, there's no doubt about that. He actually didn't race him as a 3-year-old, just kept him for his 3-year-old career. And look what he's done this year.
Yeah, 31 years, long time between drinks, but I suppose a few ahead. You were out with the connections last night.
Yeah, Kypros Kodzikas, the millionaire fish merchant who owns a horse over in Christchurch, played host to a great dinner last night, and it's good to see such great sportsmen. Obviously, the money doesn't mean a lot to Kypros, but the thrill of winning a race like that certainly does.
And the storm out there didn't dampen the enthusiasm of the punters?
Oh, look, not at all. I'm sure they're really heralding the welcoming of a new hero, and a stunning performance it was. Unfortunately, he won't go round in their True Memorial at Bankstown next week. That's a bit of a surprise. But it's probably not when you look at Robert Cameron. He's focused so much on the Melbourne Summer Carnival, and he desperately wants to win that Hunter Cup.
Well, at Gloucester Park on Friday night, the Golden Nugget, and another former Kiwi, True Takeoff, certainly lived up to the name. Yeah,
he certainly did. Now, this race has got interest because it's for some of Australia's best 4-year-olds here. This $100,000 race, growing in stature every year over in Perth. And the leader here was True Takeoff. He was expected to really push Mon Poppy Day, the heavily backed favourite, once he drew so well in Barrier 2. He was sent out a strong second-elect, went straight to the front, and Jim Curry, his trainer, really deserved this win. Mon Poppy Day, who was an outstanding 3-year-old last season, appears to have come back well. But David, I felt he had his chance after sitting outside the leader in this race last Friday night. Third place getter is a horse who sits behind the leader, Lord Brook. And if there's a hard luck story to come out of the race, it was from Turbo, driven by Greg Kersley. Greg, of course, won the Ladyship Mile on Norm's Daughter in Sydney last week. But here we can pick up the call and let's see the final stages.
Mon Poppy Day trying hard to reach him, but it's going to be a Curry Harper Golden Nugget. True Takeoff has led throughout to win. Mon Poppy Day's run.
Yes, Mon Poppy Day went out favourite there in the Golden Nugget, but it was True Takeoff that led from go to woe. Well, interest now Friday night at Fremantle for the Fremantle Cup.
Yeah, that's the next Grand Circuit race, and that'll be exciting stuff. It's a handicap race, and I think there'll be a lot of horses there trying out to impress regarding the Hunter Cup, which, of course, has now, I think, taken over from the Inter-Dominion as a race that all trainers want to win.
And you're back at Bankstown next weekend as well?
Yes, 2 in a row. I haven't been here at all, and I'll be back again next week.
Mate, it's great to have you in the studio. Look forward to it.
Certainly.
Okay,
will.
Adam Hamilton talking harness racing, and we'll take a break and be back with more in a minute.